Any questions before we start? Okay, if there are no questions, we will start the workshop. So this is sort of practice or for coursework 2, essentially, or kind of an introduction to coursework 2. So here's today's exercise. 4 groups, that's not too surprising. Start a Google Doc, that's not too surprising. You download the data for coursework 2. That's step 1. And the data can be found on Teams. So you look on the Research Methods Teams channel, and then you look in the folder called Shared. And then under the Shared folder, you'll see a NHS hospital admissions data set. And then you can use any tool you want. Any tool. Could be AI, can be Google Sheets, Power BI, Tableau, any tool you want. I'm most interested to see if AI tools can help you with this exercise. I don't know if they can. Then you create one simple chart, like a bar chart, line chart, pie chart, or bubble chart. And then you create one more chart, which is more advanced, like a tree map, a scatter plot, an area chart, or maybe a parallel coordinates chart. You take screenshots of those charts, you add a description, and then you insert them into the Google Doc and share with me, and I will provide feedback on those charts. Does that make sense, that exercise? Does everybody understand that exercise? So I believe this will take us to the data set, that link. Yes, there it is. It's there. So this is the Research Methods Teams chat or Teams group. And I'm looking in the Documents General and then the NHS Admissions. And there it is. There is the data set from 2024 to all the way back to 1998. So that's how you access the data set. And then I also have another link somewhere. You can find a description of the data set in Coursework 2. So if we click that link, we'll open up Coursework 2. And there it is. It's a beautiful coursework on data visualization. Really, really beautiful. And then the Office of National Statistics has been collecting a massive amount of hospital admissions data from millions of patients spanning over a decade. So this is actually 1998. So basically, every time somebody goes to the hospital in the UK, their data is recorded. They're given a primary diagnosis, the primary reason they went to the hospital. And then a number of other things are recorded. There's something called the finished consultant episodes. You'll have to Google that, what that means. Finished admission episodes, you'll have to Google that too. So that's just basically people that have come into the hospital, been treated, and then exited the hospital. Then your gender is recorded. The emergency, like whether or not it's an emergency, is recorded. Number of patients on the waiting list, like were they on the waiting list? So you're usually like either admitted into the emergency room or you're on a waiting list and you come in for a scheduled appointment, right? That's usually what happens. The number of planned admissions, and then how long that person waited to be, for their appointment at the hospital. How long the person stayed at the hospital. Sometimes it's very short, but sometimes it's very long. And then their age, their current age, and they're broken down into these age groups. The age groups are not like totally even, like there's 0, no, so that's birth, right? And then from ages 1 to 4, 5 to 9, 10 to 14, and then I'm not 100% sure why, but then the individual years, 15, 16, 17, 18, and 19, those are individually recorded. And then the rest are 5-year time intervals. And then, as if this isn't fun enough, it gets more fun. The more you dig into the data, the more fun it gets. There are 3, actually this is not entirely true, there are 4 or 5 levels of abstraction. But today we're only going to mention 3. The data is arranged in a hierarchy of abstraction. So at the bottom of the hierarchy is your primary diagnosis code at the finest level of resolution, or the finest, most specific cohort. But then similar diagnoses are grouped together into higher level groups. So if, I don't know, you'll have to see for yourself. But like, for example, there could be a group that includes all the respiratory problems, right? So there'll be a primary diagnosis code at one level, but then they'll be grouped into a higher level of abstraction for all respiratory problems. And there are 3 levels to that hierarchy, not just one. So there are groups, and then there are larger groups, and then there are even larger groups, actually. There's 4 levels, but this data set only is concerned with 3 levels. Does that make sense? So you have like lots of different factors to consider here. You have a primary diagnosis code. You have lots of different dimensions for each of these cohorts. And then you have a time span from 1998 to 2004, how this diagnosis changes over time. And then you have a hierarchy of diagnosis codes. So it's the best data set in the whole world. I'm trying to think of a better data set, and I can't think of one right now. Can anybody else think of a better data set? I cannot think of one. And yeah, so as with any real world project, this is not fictitious. So in a lot of your education, you're given toy data sets that aren't real, or they're like Legos. Like, oh, let's give you some Legos to play with. This is not a Lego, this is real stuff. This is actually real. So as with all real projects, including when you enter the workforce, acronyms and special terminology are used. You may need to do some homework to understand the acronyms and the special terms. And that will be a requirement for understanding this. By the way, we have provided a research paper to kind of get you started on understanding this data. And that's the idea. We could, I don't know if I downloaded any of the data yet. So there's a link to it again, by the way, in the Teams. So if I click on shared, and then I click on NHS hospital admissions, what I will do, bless you, is can I widen this column? Yeah, that makes it a little bit nicer. So that's what it looks like. Now, I mentioned 3 levels of abstraction. The top level is called the primary diagnosis summary. So you can see all of the people with intestinal infectious diseases have been grouped together in a bigger group. That's called a primary diagnosis summary, and the groups have labels A00 to A09. Right, all the labels have unique identifiers. But then, if we go down one level to the next level of detail, it's called the primary diagnosis 3-character summary, and there, that group is broken down into about 10 subgroups, right? The next level of detail. And there's one more. That is the primary diagnosis 4-character summary. So this is the next level of detail. So now all of those are broken into something like 100 different groups, around 100 different groups. Something like that. So this is a very small group, very, very small number of people. But this is a much bigger group, but that's still quite small compared to some of the other groups. And you'll find out. My recommendation for today is to focus on the primary diagnosis summary. That would be my recommendation for today. I would not look at this primary diagnosis 3-character but it's up to you guys. It's up to you guys how you want to look at this. Any questions? Sound like fun? Anybody that can crack this data set can make themselves world famous. Overnight sensation. Okay, we'll divide up into groups. If you have a group that you want to be in, you're welcome to self-organize. Otherwise, I will come around and put you into groups. Sound good?
Research sponsors, yes. Yeah. Research sponsors. Data visualization vampires. There it is. Data viz vampires. Okay. Everybody think of your vampire name by the end of the day, 7 hours list. Because it will be going on the sheet. Not the real name. Vampire names. Or like the maximum. Yeah, or Edward. There we go. That's awesome. Yeah. Count Dracula. Okay, Count Dracula. Dracula. Edward. You said the thing. But you have 2 hours, so like no pressure. That's so true. You can only have an hour 43 actually. Hour 42. Hour 42. Oh, that's so true. That's so funny. I watched a lot of the Vampire Slayer. So vampires.
If there are any questions, feel free to ask This is not easy. This is not an easy one. Coursework 2 is not easy. I would say coursework 1 is probably the easiest of the 3, maybe. And I would say this is the most difficult out of the 3. So coursework 2 is the most difficult. If you have questions, feel free to ask, because this is not particularly easy. And it takes time just to understand the data. The data is not particularly easy to understand.